is Sheila Corona. Welcome. This is, we're going to continue on with the Handbook for the New Paradigm, Volume 1. Today is Wednesday, August the 23rd, 2023. And this material was published, keep in mind, in 2018. And we are on session number 28, page number 97, if you are following along in the book. As you need to experience as your need to experience in calculated time passes into relative unimportance, the momentum of your experiences of the new paradigm will flow smoothly into a release of the materialistic mode that holds you tightly within the power of the deviant perpetrators. It is the pursuit of the creation of your personal fiefdoms, and in the competition to create one of greater opulence and grander physical pleasures that have you trapped. These are empty promises to fill the void of imbalance that you feel within. Subliminal messages are planted within all the advertisement to feed your materialistic addictions. The tangled and layered morass of information and lies is reminiscent of the fable of the lion and the mouse. The lion of humanity lies staked to the earth, held fast by the net of distraction of the conscious mind. In the story, it took a tiny mouse to chew through the ropes to release the lion. In our version of the story, it is the radio talk show, the available internet information, and the publication of books and tapes that constitute the mouse. The information shared is based on personal experience and researches of archives of information available to any that care to take advantage of it. The integrity of the net is threatening to give way. Once released, the lion is then aware of the power of the tiny mouse, so anything could happen. Unfortunately, there are more nets in place unless we take charge of the storyline, and change the scenario. The point of these messages is to encourage and to inform, not educate in the format as it is practiced. There are no subliminal, subversive intentions hidden within them. Each of you has programmed within the deep levels of your awareness the memory of the purpose you came into this lifetime to accomplish. We are simply keeping our agreement to remind you and to give guidance and direction to your actions. When the focus is on reacting to what is perceived as imminent danger, then momentum is lost. It is our agreed function to share the view that we are privileged to have from a dimension encompassing a greater vision of the situation. We view energy patterns in movement in a holographic display and can model the various possibilities available. This is an advantage. It is the purpose of this information to share what is allowed within the universal laws governing free will with as much clarity as possible. I'm going to pause here for a moment to say that in the other book, A Soul's Journey, the gentleman spoke upon the fact that we all travel to the astral, and a lot of times, and there's been a lot of folks that have come back with information that they're going to meetings, they are arranging stuff, they're doing things, but aren't bringing back exact intel. I feel like that's what this is referring to here. Back to the book. We find allegorical stories are remembered and applied to overall understanding most effectively. We are limited to those available through the experiences of the translator of this information. See, that's what I thought. We are all getting information, but we all get it in a different way. And we translate it into a way we can hopefully understand that will expand us. This is my thoughts, and also translate for someone else as well. It is a dictation / translation / transcription process, with the translation portion being the most critical component. It is important that this person continue to input information to enhance the available quote database. Guidance is provided to appropriate materials. It is within the allowable guidelines to bring to your attention deviations within those patterns that can be corrected, because it is your free will decision whether or not to do so. The problem of getting the information to you is massive indeed. Face-to-face discussions are not possible for many reasons, but mostly because, quote, mostly because it's not, quote, victim / martyrdom is not in our experience pattern, and that would be the end result. Therefore, we have this process as a more effective way. Though there is no two-way exchange possible at this time, and it is not necessary, it is also possible for us to bring much information into the awareness of those committed to the project. Through the acceptance of this commission and a commitment to participate and see it through the energy matrix of each change, and this is observed. This opens a line of communication and also results in a change of activity within the inner dimensional or sleep states. Apparently my phone agrees with that one. These changes are reflected in the outer dimensional activities during the day. Many changes in these lives will be noted, from the mundane to major shifts in attitudes and choices of activities. As mental and physical activities change, the intent and commitment becomes more focused, and a spiral effect begins to occur within the levels of consciousness. You are being supported in this process. It is with trepidation that we bring to your attention that the open communication lines are now under greater control, and it is their intention to identify those yet unknown individuals who disseminate information that counters their plans. As yet, it is in the identification process and has not moved beyond into retribution. This is because there are purposes for allowing you the privilege to do what you are doing that are not known to all levels of oppression. The word identification process is being further expanded. We suggest strongly that you edit your verbal and written conversations. Book wording can be read electronically, but titles especially are being processed. If suspicious, then scanning the forward epilogue portions is taking place to be reviewed. Expect bookstore chains to be contacted and told to remove titles from the shelves, and raids to take place at wholesale distributor levels as the next step. Hopefully, they will be discriminate and take only certain individual items. However, That has not been the pattern. This will limit your freedom to print and distribute freely, so creativity must be used in the wording of titles, forewords, and endorsement information. It suggests the possibility of setting up alternate locations and different names with books, etc. Likely to pass through the first two tests. This might be considered as possible joint efforts if the hurdle of profit sharing can be worked through. If reprints are being considered or new books or tapes, these considerations may be important. Creativity in promotional copy will be challenging. Intuitive inspiration is available on request. Smile, you are on the winning side. And we're going to go straight to session number 29 here. It is with resolve that you must focus the energy of intent into bringing forth this phase of the project. There is indeed a nuance of difference in these. One can intend to do something but never actually do it. Resolve is the spark that holds the intent in the forefront of the field of activity within your awareness. This, quote, this phase refers to what might be called the second layer of activity toward initiation of the project. The phase of, quote, getting the word out does not cease because a new phase has begun. One simply adds the beginning of the next phase in a layering sense. Phase one was something like the foundation of a pyramid. Now we are beginning the second layer of the construction before the first is complete. Visualize how graphics complete a picture on the computer. It begins and does not always complete the picture in total horizontal motion in one line at a time, and the picture is at some point complete. Next, consider this in a holographic focus for the planet. In your mind's eye, you can see where the information has gone and, quote, paint in areas where the information painted, where your information has been sent. If you see the planet as dark and the information painted in as lighted areas, you can begin to, quote, get the picture. You could see the sprinkles of light spread outward. Even people who have heard and consciously rejected the information reflect a degree of light, and it remains waiting to fully reflect. It is because you cannot know how many of these are that you have. It is because you cannot know how many of these there are that you have difficulty in grasping the magnitude of accomplishment that this phase has reached, and it continues to expand. The 100th monkey point is very close indeed. And I would say that has actually been reached since this was published. Portions of phase 2 are already in motion, and momentum will expand it much more quickly than phase 1. Because of the awareness brought forth by phase 1, there are many that are waiting and wondering what it is that they can do now that they are aware. We shall provide that answer, and it will seem to them an easy thing to do, for they are being asked to do something that can be done privately and without drawing any notice, and it is the most powerful thing that needs to be done. It is a focused, pivotal change of attitude from victim to empowerment. The great resistance to phase 1 information was because each thought it would involve armed revolution to accomplish change. We know that a change is not our goal. A new paradigm of experience begins with totally different techniques and methods, and there is no countermeasure in place once it is begun. It can be countered only with reactive measures that would be deviations within the negative plan. This would bring forth chaos within that focus. The negative plan is counter to the flow of creative energy within which it exists. It requires continuity and narrowly defined focus that links together. This is absolutely essential. It is with joy that we share these segments of information so that you may begin to understand more than just the nature of the negative plans, but also to understand the weak links available within their plans are opportunities. We can continue to guide you as to how to, quote, gnaw away at those links as long as we are asked. Please remember to do this. To receive and follow through is of critical importance, but do remember to ask. Your appreciation is warmly received, and your follow through is applauded with zeal at many levels. However, the key is always to use your free will to choose. There is a children's song to teach the letters of your alphabet. The alphabet is the foundation of the written words in your languages. What we desire you to learn to use is what the foundation of manifested, what we desire you to learn to use is what is the foundation of manifested self-awareness. Just as you must learn to apply the alphabet to written language and combinations of sound to speak the language, you must use the principles that form the foundation for directing the flow of thought into the coagulated energy that creates what is experienced as life. It is the utilization of the potentiality underlying all that is known at every level. This is accomplished through a process mentioned before and is reflected at the very basis of your ability to remain in your earthly form, breathing. In simple format, it is drawn in through expansion of the lung, rest, contraction of the lung, rest, and repeat. The lung is the vehicle of containment and motion. It in turn is contained within the totality of a greater conscious awareness vehicle, the body. This is a pattern matrix that is repeated in endless variety. The stumbling block is to learn to appreciate this variety each time it is encountered and to remember that it is but a unique manifestation of the basic pattern matrix. This difficulty is especially true if there is distortion in the particular expressions encountered through experience. The more confrontational the experience, the more distortion is occurring, not in just one, but in both individuals. Distortion unfortunately ripples outward and encompasses groups of interacting individuals. When the interactive distortion becomes large enough, then In order to correct the distortion, a large number of those involved must return to the relearning and application of the basic fundamentals of manifested experience. Simply stated, they must relearn and apply the universal laws. Guess where your planetary inhabitants are. Fortunately, you have at your disposal communications with a high potentiality of reaching vast numbers, at least at the moment. Mounting pressures of multiple layers of oppression are creating tension within those that can be reached, and there are yet many ways of reaching them. 100 years ago, this would not have been possible. Even though there were fewer to reach, these communication possibilities have been named, quote, mass media for good reason. There is no reason why these cannot be utilized for a reason contrary to what was originally intended. Perhaps there was even help in bringing them into such widespread use. Could be. Guidance in many areas is available upon request. Where are your requisitions? The length of these daily messages depends on how much information can be received and assimilated, and in the conciseness of the message format. Clarity and conciseness are the goals, with enough repetition to assure the information is planted in fertile ground. If not, then another approach is used. For the greater part of the human consciousness, the substitution of a new focus within their awareness is all that is necessary. For others of you, much more is involved. You have committed to physical action, and the conception and dissemination of this new focus. After all, someone has to plant the seeds of thought that comprise the foundation of this new paradigm before they can begin to grow, mature, and reseed themselves. If you are reading this information, then you are chosen. Now the ball is in your court, and you will choose to be chosen or not. It is your free will decision. Our blessings are given as you process the information and provide it to others for their consideration. In your vernacular, hang in there. The roller coaster ride is just beginning. You have not even gotten to the exciting parts. Just know you are strapped in and the ride will end. However, I doubt you will wish it had lasted longer. Not this time. And I'll stop there and we'll begin next time on page 103, session number 30. I hope that you will continue to move toward that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself to you. I personally am convinced that is the mission. When we do that and knowing who and what we are, there's good juju there. Mwah. Till next time, be well, my friends.